Dead by Daylight. We're checking out the Silent Hill chapter. So this is the latest DLC content that expands the game further, while also expanding the core game for those that don't buy the DLC. So if you're wondering why I was showing Ash Williams there, that's because I'm trying to escape as him, because I just bought him on the sale, and yeah, he's a cool character, but that's just to show off the context of the brand new map that we have that comes with this pack, and this map is available for everyone. This is the Midwich Elementary School. So it's very much based on the original style, the original game, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So I actually did get some really good behind the scenes details on this, because I had a discussion with the the actual team that works on this game. So we get the new killer is the executioner, the pyramid head. Everybody knows that. Then we also have the new survivor, Cheryl Mason, and there's a neat little sort of extra costume style to her that's available in the game as well. So as with all of these reviews that I do for Dead by Daylight DLC, we split it between the characters. So basically we have the first part is going to focus on Cheryl Mason here in action, kind of talking about her, and then the second part will be Pyramid Head. So she's got 3 distinct perks. She's got Soul Guard. After you heal or recover from the dying state, you briefly gain Endurance status effect. While cursed by a hex, you can fully recover from the dying state. Then there's Blood Pact. When you or the Obsession are injured, you see each other's auras. After healing or being healed by the Obsession, you both gain the Haste effect for a short duration. Using Blood Pact reduces the odds of becoming the Obsession. If you do become the Obsession, Blood Pact is deactivated. So then there's Repressed Alliance. After repairing generators for a long duration, Repressed Alliance activates. When the perk is active, press the active ability button while repairing a generator to call upon the entity to block the generator for a moment. The perk deactivates. The aura of affected generators will be revealed to all survivors. So this is kind of, I think, a fairly well-known character. She was previously known as Heather. She attempted to rebuild her life after the tragic death of her adoptive father, Harry Mason. So yeah, one of the characters from the Silent Hill series. This is a very special connection for the team. Working on all the horror games, getting an actual horror title franchise to be included here. They noted it was a dream come true, quote unquote, and they were really excited to be able to do this. So that's really interesting, and it's kind of neat. They really wanted to recreate the atmosphere and the setting of what Silent Hill was, in terms of the layout of the building being almost exactly the same as the original recreation, but obviously from, taking a PlayStation 1 era game. It's supposed to keep that puzzle feeling while also making it somewhat of a Dead by Daylight environment, and I think they absolutely nailed it. They even had the original composer, Akira Yamakoyo, butchered that, to work with the team's composer on audio and atmosphere. So that's kind of really awesome. So I wanted to talk about the transformation elements. You can actually transform Cheryl into Lisa Garland from the first Silent Hill. Same character, base character and perks, but an entirely different look. So they're going to look at maybe doing this feature with other characters, so that's really neat. But with that, we're going to focus more on talking about this character. So I thought she was a decent addition to the game. It's interesting because she works with the entity to a degree, and I don't really think any other character quite does that. She looks okay in terms of being like a unique style, but I mean in fact of like capturing the look of the character from the original, like the Silent Hill title that she comes from. I think they did a really good job, and I think fans are really gonna love her inclusion in this. I mean, it's kind of cool having this, character from another, again, horror-based gaming franchise, which is something I don't think there's many options out there in terms of like doing crossovers like this. And the fact that Dead by Daylight continues to deliver on them is really interesting. Well, this is the first for that, but delivering on all these franchises in a gaming style that seems to really work with one another, I'm pleasantly surprised, and again, always shocked by what they're able to do. Because we keep hearing all these rumors about like a new Silent Hill title, and I'm pretty sure that's what those rumors were about, was this collaboration. And I think it's kind of a neat character. I mean, I don't find her anything too wild, personally, from outside of the context of the Silent Hill series, but she does have some really interesting perks and a different kind of character to play as. Just sort of like, fearful, but confident in what she's doing. And with that, we're moving on to the main course. Yes, that's right. Well, after she escapes here, I mean, I did have a really good game this match, so I was like, I'm going to show off the escape too, because that's cool. So here we go, we've got Pyramid Head, aka the Executioner, with some really, really cool abilities, and I show his special at the end of this. So he's also got some perks, because why wouldn't he have perks? So his main thing is the Rites of Judgment. You can open the gates of suffering and be judged. The great knife splits the ground, giving rise to an infernal construct and spreading agony to all who approach. So, yeah, so his special attack is Punishment of the Damned. Press attack button. Well, Rites of Judgment is active to perform Punishment of the Damned, and unleashes a wave of force in front of the Executioner that damages any survivors in its path. Then there's the Cage of Atonement, which I show at the end. Suppress the active ability button while standing over a dying survivor suffering from torment to send them into the Cage of Atonement. They can be sacrificed to the entity as if they were on a hook. During the second phase of the summoning ritual, they will be forced to complete skill checks to hold off the entity. And the survivor being rescued or rescue another survivor from the Cage of Atonement will no longer suffer from torment. And finally, we have Final Judgment. Press the active ability of sending over a dying survivor suffering from torment who has already reached struggle phase on a hook or in a cage. The Executioner will perform Final Judgment and the survivor will be executed. I should have done that with the one character. I think at the end of this I throw them in the Cage of Atonement because I wanted to try it out, but yeah, that sounds way cooler. So anyways, as you've probably been seeing, this character is damn cool, super powerful, super helpful. So fairly good movement, very effective blades. You can do just the regular sort of slash, or you can do the hold up ability in order to get a distance-based attack that I find really interesting. So what's neat is survivors, when going up against you, can't actually really hide from you. So if they're on the other side of the rock and you're like, I know you're here, you can do the whole hold down and you can slash from underneath them and hit them from, you know, another side. I think that's an absolutely fantastic and powerful ability to have with this character. I really enjoyed using it. I felt it gave me a really good advantage, you know, kind of dealing with people that would like hide underneath certain things or keep moving around certain objects, or even if they're trying to run away from you, they're just out of your reach. You can use that, you know, for that split second to slow down in order to unleash this ability and knock them down, or, you know, do a little bit of damage to them before they get away. It's also great for those working on generators. If you sneak up on them, there's like a group on a generator, you can unleash this ability and just like hit all of them on the generator at once. It's super effective. The Cage of Atonement thing's kind of neat too, and I mean, just very, very well done in terms of like capturing the look of the character when you're playing against Pyramid Head. It's chilling actually, and it's kind of scary. It's a very large, formidable force that you're dealing with while you're playing, and I think that is kind of a big deal, or at least a big change within the game. I mean, you get a number of creatures that are like, some of them are a bit funny looking, some of them are a bit scary, some are sleek. This character is very much an imposing force that can do a lot of damage and can make it very hard for you to be able to get away, just like right here, just clip him in the grass. It's such a cool ability, and I think it's very dynamic and different from the other options that are available in Dead by Daylight. I really enjoyed using this character. I think this is a really great pack. It is fantastic that we're able to get this level be brought into the game, you know. It's so neat having this crossover that we get the Midwich Elementary School. It's just so creepy with its outside areas, and in like, you know, outside areas as in the middle of it's kind of open and outdoorsy, and then you go on the inside and it's kind of like really creepy and schoolish. I think they nailed that. And then moving past that aspect, you know, the characters are interesting. I wasn't huge on Mason, but she's a decent addition. But the Executioner, Pyramid Head, really does stand out as being such a cool addition to this game. I definitely enjoyed having the character added. I think it's going to be a really neat new kind of change up for Dead by Daylight in general in regards to what you can do with the character. But anyways, that's about it on the pack. Really well done. Can't wait to see what they do next with it, because I think this was perfectly well done. I mean, they captured the style of Silent Hill, the atmosphere of it, but they also made it feel like a Dead by Daylight game. And I think that's generally the goal for this type of thing. Definitely nailed it. Certainly well worth it if you're looking for something new to spice up your Dead by Daylight experience. And even if you're not like buying the content, you can still go in and you can enjoy the new map and the new killer to kind of run away from. So that's kind of cool.